Hello again. I'm back for another movement session. So the last time, if you did the first one with me, we talked about trying to find a butterfly, and we did some bumblebee stuff and some caterpillar stuff when we got to find the butterfly with our body shapes. And this time I decided there's so many other things that we can see when we look up in the sky that we're going to try practicing some of them this time. And the very first thing that I want to practice is making stars with your hands and breathing star breath. Have you done it before? If you have, you probably know what I'm doing. If you haven't, here's all it is. You just take one hand, make it open wide like a star, and then the pointer finger of the other hand is going to trace our fingers, and as we go up, we're taking a breath in through our nose. As we go down the finger, we take a breath out through our nose. So we're inhaling as we go up, exhaling as we go down. And it looks like this. So I start down here, and I'm going to take a breath in, and then out. And then in, and then out. In, out, in, out, in, and out. Now, do you remember last time we talked about balloon belly breaths? So, I'm going to challenge you. Now we're going to see if we can put both of those two together. Star breathing, as we watch our breath go in and out using our fingers, and thinking about turning our belly into a balloon at the same time. So, here we go. Inhale in. This time we're going to go back the other way on our hand. So inhale, belly breath in, and then out. And then in, out. Inhale, exhale, belly expands, belly deflates, belly expands, belly deflates. Now, I would like to try that on my other hand because my other hand wants to turn to be a star too. So this time we're going to combine the star breath with the belly breath, and if you want to see if you can go slower than me on your inhales and exhales, that's your next challenge. And we're going to go all the way through and then all the way back without stopping. Here we go. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And then back. Great. So to do some of our shapes with our bodies, some of our movements, I'm going to stand up because I would like to be closer to the sky to do these. And just to start, I'm just going to kind of get the wiggles out because sitting down for a little bit like that kind of gets me all wiggly. So I'll kind of shake myself out. And as I do this and look around, do you know what I notice? That sometimes if you've seen a monkey, like in a movie or a monkey at the zoo, monkeys are up in the tree, and monkeys like to wiggle a lot. And monkeys like to swing from branch to branch and vine to vine. So let's be a monkey. First of all, I'm going to take an inhale as I swing back and forth, and then I'm going to exhale and swing down and wiggle and sway my body side to side. And then I'm going to inhale, reach up and grab another branch and swing side to side. And then when I exhale, I'm going to sway down and wiggle side to side to side. Excellent. Come back up and inhale when you do. Maybe you can come up slow and let your arms kind of dangle and wiggle if you like. Great. So One of the things that we think about a lot of times when we think about stars is a nighttime sky. So I'm going to talk about a couple different shapes that we see the moon make. And you can take one foot and step it way forward, and the other foot kind of steps back, but you can have your heel up off the floor. And do you know what a crescent is? A crescent is kind of like a banana shape. And we're going to make that shape with our body and be a crescent moon. So a crescent moon is what you see sometimes in the sky that's just kind of that sliver of a moon. So we're going to inhale and reach our arms up, and maybe we can look at our hands and we have a bend in our front knee. So now from my head, or maybe even from my hands, if I go down my back and all the way out to my heel, I'm making kind of that banana shape with my body. So I am a crescent moon. And I can look up at the sky while I do it, and I can breathe. And then I'm going to lower my arms, bring them to my hips, and step my feet back together. And another moon shape that we see sometimes in the sky is a half moon. So it's not the full circle moon, it's half of it. And we're going to do that shape. So I have one foot, and this is a tricky balance one. One foot is going to be my balancer. The other foot's going to start to sneak up behind me as I bring that hand down to the floor. And then, if you look from my head, top of my head, all the way out to my heel that's behind me, raised up, that's the flat side of the moon. And then from that foot, if you draw an imaginary line all the way down to that foot and then back up to the top of your head, that's the curved part of the half moon. And are you wiggling and wobbling like I am while you're trying to breathe? Excellent. So we can bring that foot back down. But I don't know if you noticed, we did all of that and it was this foot that was doing a lot of the weight. So we have to do both a crescent moon and a half moon so that this foot can have some of the playtime. So put your other foot in front and your second foot back behind you. And again, I have my heel up because remember, when I lift up my arms and reach my head up so that I'm looking at my hands, I'm making that crescent shape all the way down my spine and out to my heel. And I'm breathing. And I can feel my legs really warming up and working. So I'm going to exhale and bring my hands back down, step my feet together, and this time, this foot gets to be the balancer. And I start to bring the same hand down towards the floor, and I lift up the other foot, stretch it up long behind me, and now I have my half moon shape with that imaginary half circle line. And again, I can feel my balancing foot really wobble, so I have to look at the floor at something that's not moving and breathe, because both of those things help me balance. Excellent. And if you fall over and fall out of it, that's okay, because it's just practicing. So a lot of times during the daytime, when we look up at the sky, we see birds, and there's so many kinds of birds. So the first one that I'm going to be is another balancing one. I'm going to take another balance foot in the middle, and I'm going to cross the other leg over. I can start right here and keep my toes on the floor, or maybe I want to just cross all the way up so that I'm just balancing on the one foot. Either way works. And then I can stay right here and just worry about balancing, or I can really challenge it and add my arms in. So this leg is on top. That means this arm's going to be on the bottom, and the other arm's going to cross over and make an X. And then, oh, see, I just toppled just like that. Maybe you did too. And then I can bring my hands to my shoulders, and now I'm going to sit down and look around maybe, just like I'm an eagle in my nest. And it's really a wobbly balance foot on this one. So I'm going to breathe my big belly balloon breaths. Excellent. And since this leg had all the work, that's right, now we got to do it on the other leg. So we're going to bend that knee, keep it a little bit soft, and then cross the other one over. And again, I can keep my toes touching on the floor. That helps my balance, and that works just fine. If I want to cross my leg up higher, that's just for a challenge, and I don't have to. And now this leg's on top. That means this arm is on the bottom. So I'm going to cross the other one over, bring my hands to my shoulders and make that X, and then sit down on an imaginary chair. Look around like I'm an eagle in its nest, looking off the mountaintop and breathing with my belly. Excellent. Whew. Do you feel like your legs really kind of got warmed up? That's what we're wanting to happen. Another bird that usually is up in the sky in the fall time, in the autumn time, is a crow. We think of crows coming at harvest time. And there's another way that you can make a crow, and it's kind of similar to what we did last time with the frog shape. So I'm coming down, and I can have my hands right here, or the other option is I can bring my hands up and bring them up to my face. And now my knees are my blackbird wings. It's a good thing I wore black today. I didn't even realize that. And I can be touching right here at my jaw and balance back and forth and really feel my legs warming up here too in crow. Excellent. And then bring your hands to the floor and come all the way down onto your belly again. So we did something kind of like this last time when we did caterpillar. We're going to make it just a little bit more challenging. We're going to be any kind of bird that you want. You choose. You can be any color you want. You can sing any kind of bird song you want. You're going to be any kind of bird you want. And you're going to move your arms out to the side. And maybe you can keep your hands on the floor to start and bring your feet up behind you. So that's like your bird tail, and your hands and arms are like your bird wings. And you can lift up and maybe start flapping your wings. And do you notice this is kind of hard on to make yourself breathe, and you have to work with your back muscles, and maybe you look around and it is work. And then you can lower your hands down, and maybe you want to take your bird into a rest in its nest. Oh. And if you want, maybe your bird has a lot of energy today and it comes right back out and starts flying around, and you can breathe as much as you want. You can sing with your breath if you want to. And then you rest back in your nest. Excellent. I have one more bird in my head, an owl. It's hard to see owls in real life because they like to come out at night and it's dark. And they don't really like people watching them a whole lot, so they kind of hide around. But I've seen them in movies and I've seen them in books. And to make my own owl shape, I don't know if you've noticed, but if you've ever seen a video of an owl, they can turn their heads so they can look like all the way behind them. It's crazy. We can't turn our heads quite as much. We're going to try. And to do that, we're going to crisscross our legs. So one leg is kind of crossed over the other so that maybe you're even kind of stacking your knees. And you can bring the opposite hand to this knee, and then your other hand comes back behind you, and you can look all the way around behind you. And then breathe, and notice what happens. Can you feel your belly moving against your leg when you breathe? It's a good thing. Kind of feels good after what we just did with our back muscles too, to do this. Nice. And then you can exhale, unwind all that, but now we have to look and see what's behind us on the other side. So we're going to switch our feet around, cross one under, cross one over, bring the opposite hand to that knee, bring the other hand back behind us a little bit, and then look way over, just like we're an owl. Whoo! Seeing who's behind us. Do you feel your breath moving on this leg now? That's good for us. Great, and then exhale and come all the way back. And then you can cross your legs. Bring your hands to your legs. And you can think about if you want to do star breathing, if you want to do belly breathing, or maybe you want to lay all the way back down on the floor and just lay down flat maybe close your eyes, and then take a full breath in, and then exhale about 2 to 3 times. And then when you're done, notice how you feel. Think about if you feel energy or if you feel strong. And remember, always breathe and have a great day. Thanks for joining me.